Pregnant wife confessed to cheating but refuses prenatal paternity test. TW. Miscarriage. Less than. Reminder that I am not op. Originally posted by you, Open Rich 1312 in R. True Off My Chest on the 7th of June 2022. Update posted by you, Remarkable Act 183 in R. True Off My Chest on November 22, 2022. Original. Posted 10 months ago. Pregnant wife confessed to cheating but refuses prenatal paternity test. Might get blasted for mistreating a pregnant woman, but it doesn't really matter at this point. I'm mainly just using this to crystallize my emotions in writing and vent. My 27 meters wife, 26F, is around 2 months pregnant. At first, I was overjoyed when I found out. But 10 days ago she admitted to having unprotected sex with a colleague at around the time she got pregnant. This has been the longest 10 days of my life. I'm humiliated by the betrayal. I've decided to stay in the marriage if I am the father of the child. But emotionally, there's no way that I can take the stress of it possibly not being mine for 7 more months. The anxiety has been eating me alive day and night for the past week. So I told her today to do a prenatal paternity test so we can know for sure whose child it is by the end of the week. She refused and said that she would be way too stressed if we did that and that the stress hormones coursing through her body wouldn't be good for the baby. I pointed out how short-sighted this is, since I would do the paternity test eventually anyway and it would just shorten the stress for both of us if we found out who the father is by this weekend. I also said that even if we decided to get divorced right now, we would still be married by the time the child is born, so I would be the legal father by default. If that is what she wanted. She still refused and said there's no way she's going to do a prenatal paternity test. I was pretty infuriated by this point, so I ended the conversation by saying that if she doesn't get the test, I would refuse to stay at the hospital when she is in labor, refuse to sign any paperwork acknowledging me as the father, get a paternity test, and legally challenge my paternity as soon as I find out the child isn't mine. If she continues to refuse the paternity test, I am considering divorcing her even if the child is mine. I've lost most of my feelings for her after hearing about the cheating. If the child is mine, I should be eligible for joint 50-50 custody even though it will be a very young child. My wife and I also make about the same amount of money, so I shouldn't even be paying her any alimony or child support either, especially if we get 50-50 custody. So I should be in the clear legally. But there's still no way I can take this for 7 more months. I don't know what I'll do. Update. Posted 4 months ago. Update. Pregnant wife confessed to cheating but refuses prenatal paternity test. I am the op of this post. I got suspended for being suspected spam. Maybe because I used a VM to post. But I thought I should come back and update. I never found out whether I was the father or not. She miscarried not long after I made the post. And a test was never done. Or honestly, she may have just aborted it. I hope that the child, whether mine or not, is at peace now, but quite frankly, I would rather just not think more about this whole situation anymore. I just want to move on with my life at this point. The divorce was pretty swift and straightforward. We make similar incomes, so there wasn't really much to contest. I let her keep the house and she paid me half of the equity. It was a pretty silent and emotionless split. I just wanted to go my own separate way in life. And maybe she felt the same way. As an aside, I want to address the comments in the old post claiming that a prenatal paternity test would cause a miscarriage. I asked her for a non-invasive prenatal paternity test that would not have caused any harm to the mother or the child. It would have just been a simple blood draw from the pregnant mother and a cheek swab from the suspected father. Things have been rough. but I'm looking forward to the future. I've been working out and sauna bathing regularly, which has improved my mood quite a bit. I might go back to school for a master's degree. Really increases income potential in my line of work. Thanks for the well wishes. Strangers. Your kind words provided me with a lot of hope at a dark time. I want to address the comments in the old post claiming that a prenatal paternity test would cause a miscarriage. I asked her for a non-invasive prenatal paternity test that would not have caused any harm to the mother or the child. It would have just been a simple blood draw from the pregnant mother and a cheek swab from the suspected father. These blood tests have been available for a while now, but it seems quite a few people still think an amniocentesis is still needed for prenatal DNA testing. Amnios do come with a small risk to the baby, but thankfully a test of the mother's blood is all that's required now. She straight up knew kid wasn't his when she denied paternity test. I'm humiliated by the betrayal. I've decided to stay in the marriage if I am the father of the child. But emotionally, there's no way that I can take the stress of it possibly not being mine for 7 more months. I super don't understand the stay together for the kids even though the marriage is done mindset. I've seen enough products of those kinds of marriages. This is the best possible scenario for this guy. A nice clean break from the cheater and he's off to live his life in a much better situation. I'm getting a strong feeling she had an abortion because she found out Oop wasn't going to step up and help parent. I also don't blame him at all for wanting a prenatal DNA test too, because it's just going to be a legal battle later on, even if he ends up prevailing. I just don't understand what his wife's end goal was. Did she think everyone was just going to live happily ever after not knowing who the father was? Glad he escaped from the scenario which could have turned his life worse. Things have been rough, but I'm looking forward to the future. I've been working out and sauna bathing regularly, which has improved my mood quite a bit. I hope things stay better in future too. Prenatal paternity tests now are extremely non-invasion and as safe as any other blood work that might need to be done during pregnancy. 30 years ago they did amniocentesis, which did have risks. But they now know that the fetus's DNA works in the mother's bloodstream, so they can easily find out with the blood they collect to check for gestational diabetes or any other risk factor. It's really no big deal anymore. He gave her far more leeway than I would have. I'm filing for divorce and filing for a paternity test immediately. I'll agree to 50-50 if the child is mine, but there would be no more relationship outside of co-parenting. I seriously doubt it was just a one-time thing with the colleague. Cheaters are never honest and always trickle truth even when they claim to be remorseful. That she refused the paternity test also indicates she knows it's more likely not to be oops. Also, while miscarriages are more common than acknowledged, I still do think there's a fair chance the ex-wife aborted once her non-reality bubble got popped and realized that no one was interested in playing happy family with her. I don't see a high chance a self-absorbed cheater would be willing to carry a child to term in this situation. Glad Oop was resolute in getting away from a cheater and hope he's on the mend. If you tell me that you're pregnant and refuse a paternity test, you are telling me that the kid isn't mine. I honestly would not be surprised if she did have an abortion, because either way she was going to be a single mom. I am glad she did not try to kick up a fuss and gave Oop the divorce that he wanted. It wasn't his kid and she knew it. She was probably cheating on him a long time. If she admitted it, it likely wasn't a one-time thing and she's trickle-truthing him. My guess is she had a longer affair and pretty much knew it was not her husband's and knew she was going to get caught. Her refusal to get a test was either an attempt to get Oop to eventually give up asking and accept the kid so they can be normal again, or being a cynic. She could have been trying to stick him with child support payments for the divorce she knew was coming. Best possible outcome, honestly. She knew the baby wasn't his, and was hoping to save the marriage somehow. Sad that it happened though. Reminds me of the song, 16, by Highly Suspect. Her coworker probably has a family of his own. There is no way he would willingly support his affair partner unless forced. She knew that. I hope that the child, whether mine or not, is at peace now. Please at 2 months. There's no child yet. https www.webmd.com/baby/ss/slideshow. Fetal development. This way of talking makes abortion harder to fight for, where actual people face hardships. Miscarriage, sewer. Poor guy.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.